Nerdrotic.com.
Welcome to Late Night Nerdrotica, everybody. This is a very late Nerdrotic Nooner. The day just got away from me, what can I say? But I had to deliver on a promise, so what the hell. Apologies to everyone out there who was expecting it earlier, but the videos take priority, unfortunately, and sometimes they take a really long time, and then I end up not releasing it until tomorrow, which is what is going to happen. Sorry, I had to buy time while I was taking all the pictures down there. Self-produced show and all. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Oh, I got to expand this so I can see. We've got Jim J. R.R., That Brown Bat, S4Ns or Sans, Andrew Grimm, How's Your Father, Remortal, Smoke the Conqueror, Fatty, Balls D. McGee. Welcome, Balls D. McGee. Judicon, Chris Corcoran, Frederick Bismarck, Matthew O'Hara, Hologram Nunchuck, SJ Shady 0169, Darth Scipio or Shipio, Fat Zombie. Well, you might last longer. If you're a girthy zombie, you're gonna last longer. You know. Don't get me started on The Walking Dead. Jim J, MGTOW, Lucid Dreaming was Balls D McGee. Again, that's a great name. Bill Whitaker, Lady Mist, John Smallberries, Surak of Vulcan, Surak, I can talk, Mista Scott, Metric Imperialist, and Dark Stray Lily, and I don't even know what that is right there. And Dan Pinder, Destiny Captain, Robot Rod Shlomo. What's up, dude? What are you doing up? My God. It's like 1 a.m. where you are. It's only 10:24 here. U.S. Dutch Kitty, hi. How's it going? Fuzzy Pickles? Emotionally exhausted. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Andrew Grimm, Jude Sellers, and my internet son, Ryan Cannell of the RK Outpost. Greetings, everyone. So it's been an interesting evening. I was just going to push the Nooner to tomorrow, but a couple of things happened. Well, one major thing happened. Well, two, but I don't consider one major. Personally, I think one is being completely overblown, and the other one is a fabulous failure, a spectacular failure. Now, listen, I've done this myself. I've put out videos. They're not getting traction. I changed the title. It rarely works. Sometimes it does. Don't think it's going to work this time for Birds of Prey. Or now, is it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn? Is it still got that big long title at the end? Yeah. They should have called it Harley Quinn, taken out all the other characters, and just had Margot Robbie running around looking like Harley Quinn. Why do that? I mean, obviously, the repurposers in Hollywood know better than comic book creators who have been doing this for decades. Paul Dini, they know better than Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. And I guarantee you most Harley Quinn fans have no idea who those two guys are. But yeah. And by the way, I think both of them should be in charge of the Batman franchise. I know they've only done cartoons, but they created this little thing called Batman the Animated Series, which is the definitive not live action, but Batman in motion, we'll say. Okay, that's not in a comic book. It captures every piece of the character from the 30s to 2010. I'm not too sure about now. Tom King has really deballed Batman quite a bit, and it's a very sad thing. It really undermines my whole Dark Knight Rises argument, because I'd say Batman in the comics would never quit, and then he does that, so there goes that. Remortal, Brad DL, Dan Pinder, Trina Guthridge. Hi, everybody. Hi. Eric K, what's up? I don't know what I'm changing the title. Gary, no idea what you're talking about. Don't you know changing the title changes everything? Eric K for $5. I know. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. I just sit here and blabble for a couple hours every day, and I'm not even kidding. Orville Nation, what's up? What's up, Orville Nation? We got to get you on the show sometime soon. All right, yeah. I just, I was up. I'm a bit of a night owl now that I've done the YouTubing thing full time. So I usually stay up till about midnight or 1, get about 4 hours of sleep. So I might as well live stream. Oh my God, Geeks and Gamers is here. For what do I owe the pleasure? Hey Gary, just waiting for the Fandom Menace talking points memo. I know you're busy being the new leader and all. Well, I have been working on it all night. And I've got some very interesting out-of-the-box ideas for the Fandom Menace talking points. Now, I have to distribute everybody their pagers. And we're going to do this drug dealer style, okay? So when I hit 911, it's an emergency. And you'll only think that was kind of funny if you had a pager in the 80s and you bought pot. So, yes. Fandom Menace talking points. Let me see. I've already talked about ice cream. I'm a terrible leader. I mean, do what the hell you want. Kind of what we have been doing. Just do what you want. Do you know how to spell the Fandom Menace? Then you're good. I know Jeremy was on Popcorn Planet. Is that Andy Signor's channel? And talking about this Robert Storm thing. I saw his rant. That's pretty much every comic book fan who's ever existed. They would have, if I still had my shop, there would have been 10 people coming into my shop saying exactly what he said. And he, I didn't hear everything he said. I just caught the part, the sports ball reference. And I think that's pretty accurate. It's just people rooting for a team. They're not rational about it because we're fans. We're not the most articulate bunch in the world. I understand that. And I don't agree with the take because he didn't see the movie. I've heard nothing but positive about Parasite. I'll probably watch it if I can, when it's on a streaming service, I'll watch it. I'm not going to go to the theaters and watch it. I didn't expect the Joker to win. I kind of expected 1917 to win, which won the BAFTA for Best Picture, which was a spectacular movie. But a lot of people have had a lot of positive things to say about Parasite. So good. I try to shy away from talking about things I haven't watched or seen. But he's, it's his channel. He's got right to say it. I guess he got ratioed to hell or something like that. And he's, he's basically being called everything we get called all the time. So, welcome to it, Robert. But honestly, he's just being a fanboy. That's all it is. And that's what fanboys do. I posted my thumbnail for my video that's coming out tomorrow. And I got an interesting, I always get interesting comments from the Jody bots. And somebody actually asked me if I had anything better to do. So I went to their Twitter. I'm not going to name them. I went to their Twitter page, and it's just orange man after orange man after orange man tweet. And in that tweet to me, they were talking about all you do is hate, blah, blah, blah. And then, orange man after orange man tweet. And I was like, well, it's better than regurgitating political tweets all day. I'll say that, Do I have better things to do? Sure, and I do them. But it's so much fun. I had a lot of fun making my video today. I don't know if anybody's going to watch it. I always feel that way before a video. But lots of sound clips in this one. I found, thanks to the third female doctor played by Starry-Eyed Girl, who's one of our mods and co-hosts the Doctor Who reviews with me. She is brilliant, by the way. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say that because she's female. Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind. She sent me this Tom Baker video it's kind of like the William Shatner one. He's recording a commercial from like the 80s, and he's just cussing out the guy, and it's freaking hilarious. It's for Symphony. If you're searching for it on YouTube, it's just search Tom Baker Symphony outtakes. And Symphony's like a brand of mattress or something. And yeah, Tom Baker is the William Shatner of the UK. That's an international treasure. But I do want to start out talking about, we'll get to the Birds of Prey stuff in a second. Also, Benny June, who is a reporter who follows me on Twitter, said something on, oh my God, I'm forgetting his name now. He's like a famous YouTuber too. The Rubin Report, duh. Mentioned the Fandom Menace. Said the Fandom Menace saves Star Wars from itself. Who said that before? No. Benny June actually follows the Fandom Menace, and hail, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for the shout out there. And yes, it did. Yes, it did. And to deny that, whether you like the Fandom Menace hashtag or not, you can't deny that at all. We played a part. All of you, all of us, played a part in getting Disney to somewhat change their ways. It was much too late, and the damage is already done, but we have J.J. Abrams out there admitting failure, basically. And you know what? I got to credit him for that. I do. But that's why he's smarter than Rian Johnson. That's why he gets more work than Rian Johnson. That's why he will continue to get more work and gets $500 million. Rian Johnson's not getting $500 million from anybody. And I will admit that Jar Jar is smarter. He's smarter. He's going to keep doing what he's doing. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to change his ways. He just knows how to get some of the attack dogs off. But some of us see through that bullshit. Yeah. So, oh, I lost my train of thought now. Oh, yes. I wanted to talk about adult pretenders. The very, very important adult pretenders. I want us to all recognize how much they sacrifice. So much. And I want us all to acknowledge the stunning bravery of one Natalie Portman, who had all the female directors who weren't nominated sewn into her $25,000 dress. I mean, the sacrifice is unbelievable. I was stunned. I was stunned of the suffering of rich people not getting paid as much as other rich people. Can you believe it? And during the awards ceremony where adult pretenders were giving each other awards for being adult pretenders, they were pontificating on how we should live our lives. And I wish they would just be honest. I wish one would go up to the podium and just go, you know what? Get a big old bag of Coke, get a couple of hookers, get yourself a yacht, and have a good time. That I would respect more than probably somebody who would, I would say a lot of them, Marlon Brando, he's gone. He can't defend himself. So I'm going to pick on him a little bit. Marlon Brando would probably be on the streets if he wasn't a very talented actor because he was crazy. Now, hey, that might be a mean thing to say, but he was. He was very rich. People supported his, both of his kids have passed away. The man was not sane. Brilliant actor in one of my favorite all-time. The only thing that's it's almost as good as Lord of the Rings is The Godfather. If the third one was good, then we'd have a different conversation. But The Godfather, part 1 and part 2, beautiful. And I love the edit where they put them in chronological order. Oh my God, I love that edit so much. I know Doomcock hates it, but I love it. I love it. Yeah, so these adult pretenders, they've been sacrificing so much for you and me, for you and me. We should just let them run our lives. Maybe vote them in the office. I really think we should at this point, because they are just so much smarter than us because they can pretend for a living. And, you know, hey, it's a gift. It's an art form. I totally respect it as an art form. I love pop culture in all seriousness. And I do think it's a craft that should be appreciated at times. But I think in the big picture, there's a saying in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Cosmically speaking, does it really matter if I don't get up and go to work? No, it doesn't. And if the sweet meteor of death ever comes along, SMOD ever comes along to level out society and take us back into the Dark Ages, how important is the actor going to be? I mean, are they going to be able to act for food, act as a structure to live in during the nuclear winter? I don't think so. I don't think so. So they're really not that important. And the amount of money that gets spent on these award shows for adult pretenders can feed small countries that our good friend Drunk 3PO goes to. Imagine how many schools one Oscar show could build in El Salvador, in Ecuador, in Mali, which is a tough country. Actually, one of Melissa's clients actually did just that. She built schools for young girls where it was against the law. And these girls at one point, I'm sure you heard the story of the girls being kidnapped. That stuff happens all the time because I don't know about right now, but at the time, and this was about 8 years ago, it was illegal. So she had me make I was a videographer. This was when I was working in Hollywood. I put a little video together for her for a charity auction, and I had to pull it off of YouTube immediately. I put it up and she's all, no, get it down, because, she was afraid, the girls' school got threatened, and she was afraid that they would be able to identify the girls that were put in that video. So, and then I hear, Natalie Portman and her sacrifice for the female directors who were not nominated for directing Pretenders. And it's equally as tragic. It really is. It really is. I'm humbled by her stunning bravery. Frick. Yes, Sweet Meteor of Death or Harvey. Either one. I think Harvey trumps the Sweet Meteor of Death because he is an eldritch god from another dimension. But the thing is, the reality of the Sweet Meteor of Death is it could be tomorrow. That's why it's best to live every day like it's your last. Live it up, have fun, make YouTube videos complaining about birds of prey. That's what I do, and I really do enjoy it. I do truly enjoy it. It's cathartic. It's cathartic, especially, and you'll see it in my Doctor Who video tomorrow, where I couldn't pass up. I don't know if you guys know or not. Doctor Who, for a brief period of time, hit 0% on the Rotten Tomatoes audience score. I couldn't pass that up. Oh, I couldn't. Let's go to the chat a little bit. Natalie. And you know what? I like Natalie. Okay. The Professional is one of the best movies ever made. Now, did they doll up a girl who was very underage? Yes, they did. It was an art form, but, and I want to make it clear because, I listen to a lot of other YouTubers and I like them, and I listen to ones I agree with and I don't agree with. It's good to know the lay of the land out there, and try to listen, because sometimes there's some really good advice out there and sometimes there isn't, and you'd never know who it's from. But there's one who was really, I don't know if they're watching I doubt they're watching all of my live streams and watching all of our videos. I don't want to change the politics of any of these adult pretenders or any of the creatives or repurposers. That's not my goal. They can keep their politics. I just, in certain things, especially Marvel movies, Star Wars movies, and listen, Star Trek, you can play with a little bit politically, certainly. Doctor Who, not so much. I'd say Star Trek is the one major franchise you can put political messages in. but you still need to kind of bury it in allegory. And again, what we've said before is Star Trek was somewhat neutral. Not all the time, but somewhat neutral. It never bothered me. I have to say, nothing from the original series or Next Generation or Voyager or Enterprise that ever offended me or annoyed me. Star Trek Discovery was a constant annoyance, but it's mostly the writing. It's how you present the argument. So that other YouTuber was saying we were biased based on the political views of the creative. What happened with Star Trek Picard, again, I will repeat myself, is Sir Patrick Stewart did an interview with Variety and said point blank, we are going to make this show about Brexit and the Orange Man. I mean, what am I supposed to expect? And they certainly, it looks like they're going to do that. But my biggest problem with the show has not been that. It's the dialogue is utterly horrible, and it is dystopian Trek. And they promise that as well. So I'm not saying they're lying about it. I'm saying I don't like it. Now, as I said in the Inquisition, if you like Star Trek Discovery and you like Star Trek Picard, that's a consistent argument. If you're a normie out there and you didn't watch Star Trek Discovery and you just, casually like Star Trek, I could see you liking Star Trek Picard. No judgment. It's fine. But I see so much of Star Trek Discovery in Star Trek Picard, especially in the dialogue and the scenarios they put out. It's just bad to me. That's all. But if you like it, more power to you. Hi, Destiny Captain. How are you? Gary, did you notice how Harley only killed one woman in this film? The Frida Kahlo woman. Yes. And that's only because she had a unibrow. No. And killed like 1,000 men. Yes. I disagree with people who say it wasn't woke. It wasn't like Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was really annoyingly bad. This one tried to be, it's more fun than Captain Marvel. I'll say that. They made an attempt at making it funny. It just wasn't. It was poorly written, poorly directed, poorly executed. Margot Robbie is good as Harley Quinn. I think she's good. I said it in my video. I'll say it right here. I like her as Harley Quinn. I wish she would look like Harley Quinn. Honestly, we only get comic accurate scenes in flashbacks. In Suicide Squad, that little Killing Joke scene, that just brief moment with the Joker and Harley Quinn where she's in her original costume, that was great. And I will maintain that the first 15 minutes of Suicide Squad are great. And it just goes downhill. And you know what? The first 15 or 20 minutes of Birds of Prey or Harley Quinn or whatever the hell it's called now isn't so bad. But it gets boring and predictable. And when she says that, or when they say in the film that she pretty much concocted all of the Joker's great plans, I mean, that's kind of woke. All right, it is. And it's woke because it's what they've been doing in absolutely everything. Doctor Who's the worst example. They've done it in Star Trek Discovery. They do it in Star Wars. They go and try to insert and shoehorn things in the past, which is completely unnecessary, and it's only done for agenda. And it's obvious. I'm not saying don't retcon stuff. Comics did it all the time, and sometimes it was good. I like a lot of retcons. I don't like some, but it's motives, and you can just see through the repurposer's motives. There is, retooling stuff that works. Battlestar Galactica is a good example. I know some people don't like it, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I didn't mind Starbuck having his gender swapped because it was a different reality. So you didn't change it within the reality of the source material. So the source material, they can still work with it someday. Hopefully not now. Harley Quinn is supposed to be dumb. Did I ever take as dumb? Okay, you could interpret it as dumb. I think she was dumb in love. She did graduate. She was a psychiatrist, right? So I don't think she was completely dumb. But that was the stereotype in the comics, or not the comics, in the animated series. And, you know, that's where she came from. That's where she was best. And they just get farther and farther away from the source material. And that's the most frustrating bit is if something works for decades in one medium, it can most certainly work in another. And if you look at all of the successful comic book films, there's one constant. They look and feel like they did in the comics. Not perfect. Nobody expects perfection, but the spirit of that character is there. Iron Man was a successful film. Why? Because it was an intricate plot, a sophisticated plot? Hell no. They were making up that script as they were filming. It was a great performance, and Iron Man looked like frickin' Iron Man. I mean, it had a silly third act. Tony! But I loved it. It was great. It was just well executed. You know, Daredevil, my God. You know, he doesn't wear his costume till the end of the season, but phew, it looks great. Everything about Daredevil Season 1 is perfection to me. That's the best thing Marvel's done. Captain America, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy really captured the spirit of the comic they based it on. And yes, that was based on a comic that came out right around the time Annihilation came out, which is a great crossover, by the way. It's better than Civil War, has a better ending. Civil War has a shit ending, by the way, the comic book. It actually ends in Captain America 25, and that pissed a lot of people off. And they didn't even tell us. So I don't know if I've told this story before, but spoilers, this happened about 10 years ago. But Captain America dies at the end of Civil War. And they didn't tell anybody. So I only ordered like 25, 30 at the time. And I get to my shop, and there's a line of people out front. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Did I get broken into or something? And they're like, no, didn't you hear the news? Captain America died. And I'm like, oh my fucking what? And yeah, they kept it from us too. And it was a well-kept secret. And yeah, we all sold out and couldn't reorder it. And I'm on the West Coast, and comic books have always been East Coast centric. So all the East Coast shops were up 3 hours earlier. They bought all the books, and the West Coast shops were shit out of luck. And oh my God, I can bitch to you about for 2 hours how I think Diamond should have had a West Coast satellite warehouse that worked on our time and kept books for us here in California, but nah. Shit, at Diamond Distributors, when we called a reorder, they went home at like 3 o'clock. You know, couldn't stand that stuff. Justin Smollett can act. Jesse Smollett. I've seen his performance at 2 a.m. in Under 0 Degrees. Oh, Andrew Grimm. If it's Jesse Smollett, I don't know if he can act. He couldn't act one scenario out very well, could he? Oh, could he? Yeah, you know what, Jeremy, I'd invite you in, but I'm on OBS right now because the connection's better. But very near future, I'm actually buying software so we can, so I don't have to use StreamYard anymore because the quality they're trying, and for the price, it's okay, but I need something a little better. I Love Scotch, thank you for the $10. How much do you love Scotch? You never say anything, I love Scotch. I'd love to hear from you. And when you're ready to quit drinking Scotch, I am here for you. There is a seat ready for you. I'm not saying you have a problem. Not saying you have a problem. But it is in your name. Eric K., thank you again for the $5 super chat. And he said, Gary, no idea what you're talking about. Don't you know changing the title changes everything? That is the biggest admission of failure I have ever... Well, I'd say that's tied with the download patch that you got with Cats. That is incredible, and that's the future of film. Now, I don't know how things can last in the theater. I mean, there's no way they're making money on this movie. They're getting spin all they want. There is no way they're making money on this movie. And that's, you know what? It's their own damn fault. If they hadn't have done their marketing, it would have been a different story. And they changed the title. I fully agree that it should have been Harley Quinn. Damien Dumas for $5 Australian. Beer o'clock here in Oz. So great timing. Feel free to do this more often. I might. I don't mind hanging out with my friends. I got to kind of keep it a little ASMR because Nerdrotic Jr. is going to sleep, and he's right next door. Destiny Captain for $1.99. Like carne asada, what about carne gaisada? Gaisada? I hope I'm saying that wrong. Carne gaisada. Well, they're probably serving some of that up at Folsom Street this very evening. If you guys think Pride is bad, and Pride is not. Pride is kindergarten compared to the Folsom Street Fair here in San Francisco. Don't look it up. And if you do, I told you not to. El Berzadente for 10 pounds. A minute of silence for all the super rich, super privileged people in Hollywood who aren't super rich as others. Oh, I couldn't agree more. Moment of silence for super rich people who aren't as super rich as others. Amen. Amen, El Berzadente. They're suffering. They're suffering. Imagine, they can't own a house in Beverly Hills. They're stuck in Thousand Oaks. Ugh, my God. Eric K. for $5. Gary, they are not Hunter Thompson. They will not say, get a bag of coke and hookers and blow stuff up. They should, because I have nothing but respect for the late, great Hunter Thompson, who, when he was diagnosed, I believe it was with cancer, he said, F this, I'll end it my way. I freaking love that guy. Fear and Loathing is one of my favorite all-time movies. And yeah, it's just great. Luis Felipe Romo for 39 Mexican dollars. Have you seen Old Boy? Way better than Parasite. Yeah, Old Boy is the shit. Old Boy is great. Great film. Trump Lord 9000 for $5. Why do people act so shocked and upset when movies fail that obviously were going to fail? Because Trump Lord 9000, we're not going to count the normies. The normies are innocent in all this. The normies are normies. They go to work every day. They're not hardcore fans. That's not a bad thing. But they end up paying for everything, right? But they don't pay that much attention, quite frankly. Now, the people who are within fandom who are shocked about that, they're in denial. They're partisan. They're biased as hell. And, we all have our bias, but to not see what's right in front of your face, and this keeps happening over and over again, it's this denial of reality, and it's all down to ego. It's all ego. They need to be right so bad. They need to invent arguments, spin. Listen, when you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm not right all the time. Fuck. I wasn't right all the time today. There's a lot of people who disagree with me about The Dark Knight Rises, and that's okay. I know I'm in the minority on that one, but I still think it wasn't a good movie. And I gave my reasons on Friday Night Tights. But I like a lot of stuff people don't, I like John Carter. A lot of people don't like John Carter. I think it's a fantastic movie. I like a lot of people have come around on Con Air. At the time, it wasn't loved, but I adore that movie. Con Air is just, it's pure joy. Pure joy. Now, but, they're not really shocked. And you know that too, Trump Lord 9000. They're just dug in. They're dug in. And I just don't think they want to admit they were wrong. And especially when they went so hard against the Fandom Menace, people in and out of the Fandom Menace, anybody who criticized them ever, they just dug their heels in. And now they're backed into a corner, and they're like that kid who's busted, and he just won't give it up. Eventually they'll come around, or they won't, and life will move right past them. The Legion of Reason for Canadian $6.99. If women directed more Hurt Locker and less Little Women remakes, they get more nominations. Yes. Here's the truth of the matter. There aren't a lot of female directors in Hollywood for whatever reason. Probably desire, for one. You got to have enough people who have the desire to have the job. Men and women are different. They have different goals. Generally, there is always outliers. And this will eventually be corrected if it needs to be corrected at all. It's a meritocracy. When more women start directing stuff, then more women will get more experience, and then they will get nominated more. And if they all, we have women directing action films, and female. Jessica Jones season 2 was directed by all women, and that was their mandate, and it's kind of why it sucked. And poor writing as well, but they didn't look for the best directors, and it showed. So, yeah, I mean, once there's more women who want to direct, then they will, and then they'll gain more experience. And you know what? We'll get the first female Spielberg. It'll happen eventually. Listen, nobody says Deborah Chow was great with The Mandalorian. I don't know how she would direct a feature, but her episodes of The Mandalorian were the best by far, and that's over Dave Filoni and I believe and Taika Waititi. I think her episodes were better than his. So yeah, she's got it. Joe Go for 10 pounds. I watched Birds of Prey and Bumblebee today, and I could feel the heart in Bumblebee. A film with machines as main character has more heart than a film with sexy women. Yeah, I heard I haven't seen Bumblebee, but I heard it was good. I really like the look of it. So that's good to hear. And how do you fail with a film full of sexy women? Well, horrible script. You make them sexy without being sexy, and because that's bad now. It's the male gaze and all that. And I can't believe Margot Robbie, and I'm paraphrasing, said, we're going to make a Harley Quinn film that's not about the male gaze. Then, I mean, how do you think Harley Quinn got here? A couple of comic book nerds created her, and they created her as a vision of their idealistic female sexy Joker. That's it. Yeah, I wonder how they would like. I have behind me the Killing Joke box set that you get with the 2 action figures, and one of them is Harley Quinn in a nightie. I wonder how they would feel about that. But that's why Harley Quinn's popular. Newsflash. Toss a coin to your nooner at night. Thank you for going the extra mile and coming on tonight. Appreciate it. RR499. I appreciate the compliment. I will be honest with you. It's not going the extra mile. It is purely my pleasure. It's fun. We are not going to the salt mines here at YouTube. If I ever make it sound like that, it really isn't. But thank you, RR. I appreciate it. Jay Go for 2 pounds. In Birds of Prey, 99% of the males are ugly and evil. Yes. Yes, there's that one exception, no speaking line, and that was a henchman who killed her family, who felt bad about it. There was no context there at all, which would have been nice. I mean, that's an interesting idea that somebody sees the error of their ways. I'm a sucker for a redemption story, but it gets lost in that. What would have evened it out? Honestly, it was like some minor changes. So the restaurant owner who ends up selling them out at the end, if they simply didn't do that, if they had one nice guy in there, I would say, okay, fine. Because it's okay. It's okay if you want to have a fun movie doing this. But there wasn't enough tongue-in-cheek, and especially considering the time it came out. If you brought this movie out in a different time, I think people would look at it differently. It would still suck, but I don't think, right now everybody's seeing woke for good reason, because that's all Hollywood has done. Look at they didn't learn from the damn Oscars. You think Ricky Gervais's little, shout down at the Golden Globes would have gotten through, and boy, did they need him hosting. They needed Seth hosting, somebody hosting. I don't know. I watched some highlights. I can't watch that stuff, guys. I get pissed. I get pissed when I see that much self-importance. It's like, I appreciate your art, but fucking calm down, okay? You are a pretender, and that's why I started calling him that a few years ago. there's certain people I will call actors, you know, who are true actors. Like Jeremy Irons is an actor, even though he was in that god awful Watchmen. He's still an actor. He brings his A game everywhere he goes. He's a thespian. Red Panda for 10 pounds. Here is some British monies. Keep being awesome. Love the channel. You're a super cool dude. Red Panda. I don't know if I don't want to assume you're a dude or a dudette, but you're super cool. Thank you very much. Everybody's super cool here. Even the people who are watching me who don't like me. I'm sure there's a couple. Thanks for watching, by the way. We can always find common ground. With a few exceptions. But RR for $24.99. Hail Nerdrotic. I got up and said Lord of the Rings is better than Star Wars. That's good. Oh, yes. Yes. Then I went to the store and bought the official candy of the Fandom Menace. Candy corn. That's right. Congratulations on the continued success of your channel. So some of the talking points are I'm glad you brought that up. And thank you for the $24.99. So generous. Some of the talking points of the Fandom Menace are get up and say praise Whammon. We got to praise them before we criticize them and then immediately criticize them. Eat some candy corn and you have to say Lord of the Rings is better than Star Wars 10 times. No, not really. We love Whammon. We love Whammon. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Geeks and Gamers has to, he's probably not in here anymore. I want 10 videos a day now. I need you to up your count a little bit because I have a theory with YouTube because they stop doing notifications after your 4th upload. But if you double it, maybe it restarts the notifications. Probably not, but 10 videos a day, Jeremy. And they've got to be at least 10 minutes of length. And make your checks out to Mrs. Nerdrotic, by the way. She's much better with the numbers. Jeremy got a call on a live stream today. It was pretty funny. And somebody was asking for the head of household, and he cussed him out. And yeah, it was pretty hilarious. But that phone call was obviously not for Jeremy. It was for Mrs. Geeks and Gamers. Head of household. Come on. So rude. Bear Business 1 for $20. Every time I see a clip of the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker, I go, can you tell I'm well practiced? I was saying that a lot today. The first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker. I go down a YouTube rabbit hole of top 10 best Doctor Who moments. It takes hours to wash Jodie from my mind. Hail the night stream from Hawaii. Oh man, it's only what, 7 o'clock for you? 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock for you. That's great. Where in Hawaii are you? You could just answer in the chat. I freaking love Maui. I know all the tourists go there and stuff, but I love Maui. There used to be a comic shop at Maui. Yeah, I always look for comic shops wherever I go. And I bought Civil War #5 in Maui. That's true. True story. Gray Ghost for $5. That was the last time I was there, like 2007. Simply dropping a $5 for one of my favorite channels. Cheers, man. Well, thank you, Gray Ghost. I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome and enjoy the rambling. The unrelenting male gaze, which, you know, hey, we all have it. $1.99. How does the future look for Margot Robbie? I think she'll be fine. I think they get one more chance with her Harley Quinn. And if they don't, then DC's frustrating. DC has, dare I say, no, I know this for a fact. DC fans are more passionate than Marvel fans. They are. Marvel fans are a little easier going. DC fans are freaking hardcore. DC fans, the closest thing they're like Raider fans. If you know anything about Raider fans, the Raiders can move to the moon. They'll be Raider fans. They don't care. They love their team no matter what. Jim Rome used to call them myopic, and I think it's an accurate statement. But with fandom, that's a good thing. That's part of fandom. You know, I was accused today on a tweet of being obsessed with Doctor Who. That's literally in the definition of fandom. Yes, I'm obsessed. Look at the room. Little obsessed. I'm okay with it. I sleep like a baby. Like a baby. I think she gets one more chance. Is she going to be in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad? I think that'd be crazy if she wasn't. I think under James Gunn, she will do well. She will do well. And I don't think he's going to play any of that. I think because they were making a female-centric movie, they wanted to get some fashion designer. And that reeked of fashion designer, all those costumes, and not of somebody who is a Hollywood costume designer. I could be wrong, but who knows? Who knows? Not sure why they didn't adapt the Poison Ivy and Harley's Day Out episode of Batman the Animated Series, says T.H. I mean, right? It's all, that's one of the most frustrating things is there are so many stories they can adapt. I mean, just straight up rip it off. It's fine. We are okay with that. But everybody wants to put their own stamp on things because, what was the girl's, Catherine Yan was the director. You know what? You got to do your homework with this stuff. Sorry. And that goes for guys and girls. Believe me. There's a guy out there named Alex Kurtzman who, when he does his homework, in my opinion, he rips people off and, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Oh, if I can find I lost the tweet. I found it and I lost it. Let's see if I can play. I'll just play it over my, I'm going to play this over my mic. All right. We're going to go to this first. Let's see how that looks. And we're going to get that over there. It's going to, hang on a second. I got to do my own windows here. All right. That should work. And I'll just turn this up. If you can still see it. There you go. Good. I'll make sure my volume is up. There we go.
We as consumers of the product have more value than we have ever had in the history of the creation of a thing. So you've democratized the consumer base for things like Star Wars. And Star Wars, the Fandom Menace, has actually saved Star Wars from itself.
Fandom Menace, I got it.
The Fandom Menace is a real thing, and we can, the feedback mechanisms are now available.
And that is from, sorry, No Way Neophobic on Twitter. So if you want to give him a follow there, and he added me on that one. So thanks, No Way Neophobic. I appreciate that. Well done, well found, and that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And yes, I said it in a couple of videos. Other people have said it too. Fandom Menace, we did this stuff because we care. We actually care. You know, it's not going to be all sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns farting ice cream, okay? This is fandom. Fandom's always been this way. It'll always be this way. I know there's like these little things popping up like mushrooms around YouTube, as they do, and that's fine. I don't mind it. You know, little other splinter cell fandom groups, and everybody gets into their own little clique and group within something. That's fine. You're hanging out with friends. That's what humans do. But to come out and say, well, my group is better than your group, well, you know, I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I would focus on my individual channel, because the danger, that's the special thing about this hashtag, the Fandom Menace. It is not the identity of my channel. It is a hashtag. There's a lot of fun people who identify with this hashtag. I've met a lot of friends. It's mostly a positive force, a force for good. Does it have bad actors? Certainly. YouTube has bad actors, but that bad actor is that individual. I am not responsible. I am not a daddy of YouTube. I am not a leader of the Fandom Menace and never will be and don't want it. I'm barely a leader of my own channel. So we'll leave it at that. I was a boss at a comic store. I don't know. I was okay. I was okay. I was sometimes a little too soft on employees. And then sometimes my expectations would get too high because I expected them to care as much as I do. And I really shouldn't. That was not right of me to do that. But I learned. Had good employees, bad employees. Yeah, so blaming other people for bad actors, that's a ridiculous, childish argument. Especially when when somebody reaches out to say me, and if they ever ask me to tell somebody to shut up or stop what they're doing, even if they're doing the most horrible things, it's not my place. It's not my place. And no, it doesn't reflect on me personally. I'll be the ultimate judge of that. And, but there's freedom of association too. You got to be careful. And, I wouldn't want to hang with any of the bad actors or have them on my channel. But I don't know half the crap that's going on either, because I don't spend hours on, Twitter. Twitter's not the platform that this channel is on. I passed 15,000 followers, and that's awesome. About a year and a half ago, I had 300, but it's because of the channel. I don't really tweet anything interesting. I just promote the channel. I don't mix it up. I don't block anybody. I block 0 people. So anybody can chirp at me who they want. I generally use it for messaging, but I am not aware of the drama, nor do I want to be aware of the drama, because it's a time suck. And, sorry if you've heard this before, but I really got involved in Twitter when it first popped up at the comic shop. And it was bad. I was obsessed. Believe me, I was yelling at, comic book creators long before other people were at YouTube. There was a group of us, who were going after, like Gail Simone, when her books started becoming late. And it was, that started happening right when Twitter popped up. Coincidence? I think not. But then I got a little too salty one day, and I stopped. I stopped. It was a little bit too much. Bit of a hothead. But yeah, I think the most incredible thing about the Fandom Menace has been, overall, not perfect, but the unity. And not all of us think alike, and we don't agree on everything, but going out to the fan meetups and stuff, it's not even, when we get to the meetups, it's not like we even discuss what we discuss here on YouTube. At the meetups, we were just getting to know each other. We did 3 of them at Comic-Con, Jeremy and I. We originally were going to do one, had such a good time at the first one, we last minute just said, hey, let's meet at the same place. We started at a coffee shop. It kind of sucked, so we moved it to a bar. And it was fun. So now anywhere I go, if it's just one person, I'll do a meetup. I'm going to, when I go to LA this weekend, I'm going to Gallifrey 1. It'll be interesting after my next video. But I'm going to go to Gallifrey 1. We'll see how that goes. That should be fun. But I went to Star Trek Las Vegas, and it was positive. It was a lot of fun. So, I'll be in LA this weekend. If anybody's around the area, we'll do a meetup probably Saturday night. Friday night, I have to do Friday Night Tights. We're going to have Robert Meyer Burnett on. I'm very excited about that. Been wanting to get that guy on forever. And there's a guy, we don't agree on everything, but I respect the hell out of him. I would never get into a flame war with that dude because he's a fan. And the thing he's always shown is respect for me and for Doomcock and all y'all out there. I think he's a great, great example of a good fan who also happens to be a creative. He has a different perspective because he's a creative, but, it's good to hear that once in a while, to be honest with you. So I appreciate him a lot. Gallifrey is destroyed, for your information. Larry, you are correct. Gallifrey doesn't exist right now. Well, did you get the hint from the last episode that I think we're dealing with different realities now? They've dropped it 3 times throughout the season. So even though Chibnall came out and said it's not going to be an alternate reality, think about it. Not an alternate reality, but technically that's not a different reality. Think about the phrasing there. So I don't know. I do think there was the last trailer that came out. I want to show you what it says at the end here. what it showed you, because it really, let's see if I can find it. Doctor Who trailer. There it is. I got to make sure the sound is off for this one. Boom. Okay. Yeah. And then what's it say at the end here? Oh my God, their end tag is, that's ridiculous. The trailer ends and there's like another minute of their end tag there. There we go. And let me pause it right there. Okay. So here's what it says at the end of the trailer. Oh, whoops, sorry. My bad. We'll change everything again. So, let's see that one more time. And so, and what's still to come will change everything. I think you're looking at your first Doctor. I just think that. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Or at least a Doctor from another forgotten cycle of regenerations. And then Doctor Who will have outdone Star Wars in apocalyptic retconning. I don't know what term you want to use. But listen, Jodie goes away, Chibnall goes away, we get another Doctor, we get another creator, things move on. Eventually, the fandom can heal, we can move on. You go back and you mess with William Hartnell, even the people who are the staunchest Jodie defenders, you're going to lose a lot of them. I warn you against it, but Chibnall really seems like he wants to double down like everybody else is doing right now. And they give us this lip service like, oh, we want to change. And they double down. And the ratings are in the crapper right now. I didn't check it's still Monday. I don't think we got the States in TV series, the States ratings in, but I'll look. One of these days I'm going to get a producer, folks, and all this will get done for me. It'll be worth every penny. Every penny. So we are going to look here. Oh, come on. God, this is such a ancient ass website. And did the ratings come in? No, they are not in yet. So that's fine. That's fine. Let me close a couple of windows here. Oh, and then I guess we can go to this. We can go to this. Birds of Prey changes title at movie theaters. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Ticket Buyers, of one Harley Quinn, I'm sorry, is changing its name to Harley Quinn Birds of Prey on all theater chain sites after a struggle to fly at the box office in its opening weekend. The R-rated DC Comics movie, which had a lesser budget than most other major comic book films from DC and Marvel, opened only to $33.2 million at the domestic box office. Other rated R comic book films in recent years, such as Deadpool and Joker, opened to more than $130 million and $90 million, respectively. Birds was not expected to reach such heights, but was projected to earn closer to $50 million in its debut. Conversations have swirled online about why Birds of Prey was not met with huge ticket sales in theaters of the first weekend in February. With much of the speculation pointing towards the R rating hindering a younger audience from buying tickets. They just won't admit it, will they, folks? The film was met with impressive reviews, getting certified fresh on the review aggregate, or the idiotic aggregate site, Rotten Tomatoes. It would seem that the film was intended to be a rated R romp, but may have tested better with younger audiences, therefore never released a red band trailer or embraced its sometimes violent, oft foul-mouthed adventure in its marketing. The reason, well, let's finish this article. And I mean, we all know the reason, but let's state it out loud for somebody who may still think it was the rated R. It was the R rating. Comicbook.com was among those offering up positive reviews for Birds of Prey. I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I'm stunned. The next step for the DC film shows that the comic book brand has an arsenal of characters that are tremendously interesting and should be explored further, but it does not leave a lot of meat on the bone. Oh, that is for lack of a better term, it doesn't leave a lot of meat on the bone. Oh my. By focusing so heavily on the surefire box office draw that is Harley Quinn. Well, the part of the problem is she doesn't look like Harley Quinn. You have Margot Robbie saying she's Harley Quinn. You have Jesse Smollett's sister saying she's Black Canary. You have Rosie Perez saying she's Renee Montoya. I just don't believe they are those characters. And we have Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim, who I like. I think she was good as Ramona Flowers, and she is excellent in a film called Sky High. Yes, I freaking love Sky High. One of the best superhero movies. I believe that's a Disney film, and I love it. The film starts off slowly and finds its stride in the second act, with McGregor's villain being the entertaining standout. Not really. No, not really. Now, he could have been, but there was no context to his character. As you all know, they reshot the third act because it was supposed to be about a dick pic, and it wasn't. So they didn't mention what was in the diamond, and the diamond was inside a little girl waiting to be crapped out, which could have been funny. Should have been funny, but it wasn't. Underutilizing some of the other more interesting characters. It is entertaining and is a great starting point for some new characters on the big screen. See, people. Comicbook.com, I want you to listen to me. This is why people know you are shills. Not think you're shills, know you are shills. You are comicbook.com. Those were not comic book characters. Those weren't even CW comic book characters. Those weren't even, no, I don't want to disrespect cosplay because I see a lot of cosplay that's much better in hick towns like Sacramento, California. And sorry, Sacramento, California, you're a hick town. It's okay. I like hick towns. I'm a big fan of them. Regal Cinemas and AMC Theaters are already updated to the title to reflect Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey title. Tickets are available from the theater chain now. Warner Brothers has not responded to comicbook.com's request for comment at this time of publishing. Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey is now playing in theaters. Okay. So, it failed because of its marketing. We all know that. But more importantly, they didn't look like the characters. They didn't act like characters. And you need comic book fans to go to these movies so they can tell their friends that go, hey, this is a pretty accurate representation. I had a good time. Go see it. They have Hollywood for a while now has felt like they can abandon the hardcore fan for a lot of properties. Disney Star Wars is now learning the error of their ways. Getting rid of the EU will end up being the single greatest mistake Disney Star Wars has made out of a lot of mistakes, out of a lot of directors and the decision with Luke. But getting rid of the EU was dumb. They could have plucked from that forever, and you would have had tons of fans. And if you were somewhat faithful to the source material, you would have kept a lot of fans. And that is your hardcore fan base. And as I've said many times before, we are the ones that get you through the dark times. Think about the Doctor Who fan base that stuck with that show for 15 years before the revival. Those are hardcore Doctor Who fans. Or were. Not too sure about them now. And Star Trek, I would say we're still in the dark times. But comicbook.com coming out and saying that, it's just cringe. Cringe. Come on. And because genre has gotten so damn popular, there's way too many sites out there. And there's way too many bloggers and quote-unquote entertainment journalists. And quite frankly, there's too many writers, there's too many producers, and the talent pool has been thinned out. So now we get these fly-by-night people. I mean, you know what? You used to have to have some knowledge of nerddom. I'm not trying to gatekeep. If you're new to fandom, sit back and learn. Everybody's welcome. You can have your opinions, but when you make statements like standout characters. Well, I suppose they stood on screen. They were on their feet. I'll give you that. But these are the same people who were criticizing the Joker, who have been criticizing the Fandom Menace, people who are critical of a film. And the Fandom Menace has been right. All along. We're not right about every single detail of everything, but the big picture here is this stuff is going to start crashing and burning, and it's not going to crash and burn overnight. It's just going to fade away, and it'll be the dark ages. And the thing is, it's running roughshod through our franchises, so there won't be anything left. They're burning them out. What's happened to the comic book industry is, like I've said before, it's sad. I hate even talking about it, to be honest with you, because there's no change in their ways. Then we have this. Oh, shoot. What did I just do? There we go. I don't want to click on the ad. Hollywood soapboxing drags Oscars to all-time low ratings. Well, I'm shocked. I'm utterly shocked. The biggest flop of the award show season, the award show itself. The Oscars made history for the smallest audience the show has ever received after a night of predictable wins and polarizing acceptance speeches. About 23.6 million people, I can't believe that many people watched. Jesus Christ. Watched the 92nd installment of the show, which showered Bong Joon-ho, that's an unfortunate name, with awards, including Best Director and Best Picture for his wildly acclaimed social horror film Parasite. And while it was the most watched show of the awards season, even the promise of a hostless show couldn't hoist up Hollywood's big night amid repeat wins by actors who already took home Golden Globes, SAGs, BAFTAs. The broadcast, which ran for 3 hours and 35 minutes, scored a 5.3 rating in the coveted adults 18 to 49 demo, based on Nielsen's live plus same-day fast national ratings. In 2019, the first year of the show went without a host. It saw 11% overall viewership bump over the previous year, with 29.6 million viewers. It also scored a 7.7 rating among the 1849 demo. The 2018 awards, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel, sellout, hit a then all-time low of 26.5 million viewers and a 6.8 rating in the 18 to 49 demo, but even that was more than this year. Sure, there were surprises, a mystifying performance by rapper Eminem, and a clever opening number by Janelle Monáe, honoring all the year's snubs. And speeches from the year's best actors were entertaining for the better or for the worse. But the show was largely predictable. Winners such as Brad Pitt, Laura Dern, Joaquin Phoenix, and Renee Zellweger collected statues at every other award show of the season. The Irishman, which arrived to the scene with pomp and circumstance, was met with award show equivalent of exasperated groan. Joe Pesci, who was nominated for Best Supporting Actor in the Martin Scorsese film, didn't even show up, perhaps having read the writing on the wall. And many took issue with the soapbox-esque acceptance speeches given by the actors, including Pitt, who critiqued the Orange Man proceedings, and Phoenix, who used his 45 seconds to preach the virtues of veganism. Still, in his acceptance speech, by the way, I had a freaking great cheeseburger. My wife made it for me, Mrs. Nerdrotic. I mean, listen, this is so 1950s. My wife made me a cheeseburger. She should be ashamed of herself. She really should. I told her that as I was eating that delicious ground beef with melted cheese and pickles, a little bit of spicy mustard. Oh, man, that was freaking good. I was so hungry. But, I'm sorry, back to veganism. Still, his acceptance speech for Best Director, Bong captured a sense of unity that made for a charming night, regardless When I was a young boy and studying cinema, there was a saying that I carved deep into my heart, which is, the most personal is the most creative. He said, the quote is from the great Martin Scorsese. When people in the U.S. were not familiar with my films, Quentin Tarantino always put my films on his list. He's here. Thank you so much, Quentin. I love you. And Todd and Sam, great directors that I admire. If the Academy allows, I would like to get a Texas chainsaw, split the award into 5 and share it with all of you. I'm sorry, that's classy. That's fucking cool. So well said. We need a lot more of that. I got no problem with that. Hail, man. So, yeah, you know what? Class. It's in, so yeah, Director Bong, I salute you. I salute you for saying something right nice. Again, that's a bunch of 5, rich people. I think the one who won the award is probably the least rich, came from the most humble beginnings. And isn't this a great country? Isn't this a fantastic country where he can win an award? Where anybody can win an award. You know what? Somebody in that chat, maybe someday you'll make a movie and you'll win an award. If you do it through hard work and determination, there's nothing wrong with that. I've got no problems with the creatives. The creatives in Hollywood who do the lion's share of the work, who don't win the awards, the ones who work in post-production visual effects. I have tons of respect for those people. But it's fun. They do it for fun. They have a lot of fun doing it. Again, you're not going to a salt mine. It's the pretenders, the big fat cat executives that I have a problem with. And again, I'm not against being rich. Don't get me wrong. You earn your cheddar, you go get it. Just appreciate that you're in a place where you can get that much cheddar. That's all I'm asking. A little gratitude. We're always being told what the fuck is wrong in the world. And listen, there is, but maybe just for little moments, we can shut up about it and be grateful. And if more people were grateful, it'd be better. See, because in the program that I'm in, AA, it's pretty, there's no rules or anything, but, there's the 12 steps, but they're not rules. Okay. They're not rules. The one thing your sponsor will not allow, my sponsor will not, I'll keep it to I statements. We're supposed to keep I statements. The one thing my sponsor will not allow me to do is feel sorry for myself, make excuses, blame other people. Now, do I still do it sometimes? Sure, I'm a human being. But the minute he sniffs that out, gratitude list. I've written so many goddamn gratitude lists. But I'm grateful I wrote a lot of gratitude lists because it grounds me and stuff. So even if I'm, I'm sure there's people out there who think that after I'm done with my videos or my live streams, I continue being pissed at Doctor Who and Star Trek. I really don't. I actually play with my action figures. Oh, shit. I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. See what happens when you get me at night? Ah, shit. Speaking of which, I bought this kit at Comic-Con last year because they don't make a Conan the Barbarian 1/6 scale. Hot Toys doesn't make one. Now, there's a great head you can buy out there and like a little costume kit, which isn't much. It's like a mankini. And then you buy a body. And I bought this... It's a big, fleshy, muscly male body. And I'm like putting his little shorts on. And it was like, that was the gayest thing ever. I was like, oh my God. I'll go get him in a second. He freaking looked fantastic. But my God, I was like, my son was looking at me. He's like, what are you doing, Dad? I'm putting shorts on my fleshy body doll. I guess you had to be there. Let's get to the chat. I haven't been talking. I've been talking too much. Hang on. I'll go. Can I reach him from here? Big fleshy Arnold. It's brilliant though. But yeah, he's a little rubbery. No, he's not fully functional, by the way. He's a eunuch Arnold. Okay, thank God. I draw the line at 100% accurate male figures, but it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. It's a kit you can put together, and you have to keep, you have to like treat the body so the because it's like some kind of weird, I don't know what it's made out of, but it degrades after a while. So I hope he doesn't fall over. That's actually a metal sword right there. So let's get to you here. Mezco just released an awesome Conan. I heard about that MCR. I got to check it out. I freaking love Conan, man. I'll get to the super chats in a second, but I want to read some of the chitty chat. Pew pew with his toys, hologram nunchuck. That's what I do, man. As soon as the camera goes off, man, it is pew pew time. And we have, I have like Battlestar Galactica versus Doctor Who wars. So I have, my Battlestar Galactica figures go against the Doctor Who villains. It's amazing. The bloodshed. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The carnage. How much do you want to bet the next season of Doctor Who has an episode about veganism? Miss Tango Shan 95, I'm not going to bet you on that because I guarantee you there will be an episode about veganism. I think actually we still have a couple episodes left. We can find out that the Cybermen were caused by humans eating meat somehow. A banana hammock. Yes, it was a banana hammock. That's Rock Flanagan, I will laugh at you if you forget to turn off your camera while playing with your action figures. Probably. Didn't EVS do that? Didn't EVS forget to turn off his camera and you got a picture of a chair for like 3 hours? Got the chair stream. I live stream a lot. It could possibly happen. Vegan onion rings, yes. Oscar needs a new format. It's so boring. Yes, Anthony Vogel, it just needs to end, or they need to really lean into making fun. I would make it a roast. I would turn it into a full-on roast. You win the award, you get some of your best comedians, you make that thing a hard R, and you roast the 5 people nominated for an award. And yeah, like, do you guys remember the Shatner roast? That was on my birthday. We had a bunch of people come over from the store. There was about 12 of us at the house watching the Shatner roast. It was epic. That was so freaking good. If you guys haven't seen the Shatner roast on Comedy Central, it's classic. It's perfect. They need to do that with all the directors, all the actors, cut them down to size, show some humility, and it would be entertaining as hell. The public would love it. And you know what? The actors would love it too. They're such egomaniacs. If they're getting roast, they would love it. So I think that would be a good idea. That's my pitch for the Oscars. The Oscar roast. And yeah, hosted by Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Ricky Gervais. You get everybody. I mean everybody, but none of the PC comedians. No Patton Oswalt. You know, I used to love Patton Oswalt. I've seen him live a bunch of times. Dude's a total freaking sellout. I actually brought him comics at his show. I brought him comics. Nettled Nerds for $5. Hail Supreme Leader. Oh, stop. I have a new plan. Geeks and Gamers has to say hail to our new overlord Nerdrotic before every video now. Oh, I like that. Hey, Jay, Drunk 3PO, wore my shirt today. So everybody got their shirts. They're going to have to wear Nerdrotic shirts for sure. They have to wear glasses too. And no, new rule for the Fandom Menace. No ripped jeans, no V-necks. Just thought of that right now. The memo's going out in the morning. Canal, you can wear your tank top. I'll give you that. At least you go to the gym. You work out. Your ass is next for Australian $5. Thank you, your ass is next, for the donation. I appreciate it. Nicholas Horton for $5. Harley had more chemistry with Ivy than with any other characters except for the Joker. Yes. Why didn't they have Poison Ivy? It makes no sense. You could have introduced Poison Ivy, and you could have done like a freaking Thelma and Louise of superhero movies. But just made it funny, you know? The thing is, everything's done with such, you feel the anger in it. And it's okay to, I always think it's better, parodies are better when they're done out of love. There's a couple exceptions. I would call The Boys almost a parody. That's not done with love or reference. There's a lot of anger in that, but it's still really good. But The Venture Brothers is a parody done out of pure love, and the Orville as well. It just jumped on me. Give me just a second here, and I will get it. Thank you, Nicholas Horton. You are correct. McTwiz for $5. You should totally do a collab video live stream with Young Ripa. 59. I should, actually. You are correct. I've talked to him before when the apocalypse came down. We had him on with Jeremy. That was a great live stream, by the way. I will get him on a Friday Night Tights. He's good. He is good. His video coverage of Birds of Prey has been hilariously accurate. Much love, bud. Thank you very much, and it has. It's been brilliant. Go check out Young Ripa 59, please. Go subscribe to his channel. His comic knowledge is excellent. Excellent. Are you thinking about taking a break from YouTube? Says Gray Ghost for $2. No. Absolutely not. Actually, I need to ramp up the work a little bit. I'm going to be ramping up the work. The times to take breaks are, well, with YouTube, never. But probably the summer and in January. And I missed my opportunity. I've actually been working harder now than I was a month ago. I just haven't put out as much content. I'm just slow at editing my videos now, especially when there's different amounts of effort I put in, like the Birds of Prey review. I wasn't going to put the same amount of effort into it as I did my Fall of Skywalker review because the movie was meh. So I'm like, I even missed a damn clip in it. I caught that. I mean, it didn't kill the video. It's just, I missed me saying Margot Robbie and I'm referring to her, and I guess you have to assume who I'm referring to. It was a little thing that I noticed. But I wasn't going to put in, because the Fall of Skywalker video, I put like 3 days into that. And yeah, the Birds of Prey, I put it in like 3 hours. Today's video, whether you like it or not, it took 8 hours. It took 8 hours. But no, I'm not going to take a break because it's fun. It's fun. Every time I finished, I'm all, I could put this in there. I could put this in there. And I found something new, CJ for $20. DC and Marvel are missing the mark on the next generation. My daughter, that's 12, couldn't care less about Harley, Black Widow, or Wonder Woman. She's just wanting season 2 of the Umbrella Academy. She thinks number 5 is awesome. Umbrella Academy is so good, CJ. And that's brilliant. Yeah, I love the comic book. And I loved the series. I thought it was very well done. And it captured the spirit of the comic. It changed a lot. And I can't wait for season 2. Dude, anything starts with a Kink song, that's good. So that's cool. Yeah, and she sounds like a very sophisticated young lady. So yeah, they're missing the mark. The kids are my kid. I mean, I'm not going to think the world is my kid. But he's getting more into anime now. He's in the Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia. And that's what all his friends are into, and all the kids at school. They're reading less comics. They're reading more manga. And that's going to be the future. And video games and YouTube. Nobody ever talks about YouTube. And that's fine. They don't. You know why they don't talk about YouTube? The streaming wars and everything is because they're scared to death of YouTube. They're scared to death. Now, there is something going on right now. That, guy almost, it's a live stream. Screw it. A friend of mine's video went out today. I don't want to throw him under the bus, but I didn't get his notification. I get this person's notification. Fuck it. I'll say it. Doomcock released a video today about Star Trek, and I didn't get a notification. I always get his notifications, and I mean always, on my phone and on my desktop. I did not get a notification. Because I usually watch his videos like the second they're released, unless I'm recording a video. So I let him know. I'm like, dude, I did not get your notification for the first time. And I noticed something. The some of the Star Trek videos. Now, there could be multiple reasons for that, and I'm considering all possibilities here. I'm just saying this could be one of them, okay? Star Trek videos, they used to be gold, and now they're hit and miss because I think a lot of people are just over Star Trek, and I think there's a split in the fandom with Star Trek Picard. Again, if you like the show, great, no problem. I have no problem with you whatsoever. I don't like it. I'm going to voice my opinion on it, but I am open to liking it. I want to like it, and if it improves to mediocre, I will tell you. I'm okay, that was a mediocre episode. I gave the first episode a 5.5, gave the second episode a 5 out of 10. They are not as bad as Star Trek Discovery, but they're getting there. The last episode, 3 out of 10. It was terrible. It was terrible. So Doomcock released a video with some rumors. And so I asked around, and a lot of people didn't get their notifications. And then I noticed that CBS is advertising heavily on YouTube. And it just got me thinking. Is CBS... And listen, I can see them saying yes. Is CBS okay advertising on a platform that criticizes them? I'm sure they're not going to love it, but if they were smart, they would realize that, hey, people are talking about it anyway. It's still advertisement. And I know that sometimes there's Star Trek ads on my videos. But would they suppress? Would YouTube promise to suppress? Now, I haven't read every rule. Maybe it says it somewhere. Would I be surprised if they did that? Hell no. Do I think it's going on? I don't know, but it's the first time I've seriously considered it was today. Just saying. I'm like, that's weird. But we'll see. We'll see. Cause that's bullshit if that starts happening. Like, I'm all for commercialism on YouTube. I'm fine with it. And I think that's where YouTube has a leg up on all the other streamers, because people are used to seeing ads. And listen, you can get the premium service and have no ads. The YouTube premium service, I mean, I'd love for you to get it. You get Cobra Kai, but that's it. That's it. They need to do better, and they need to work with their creators. The thing is, they're already better, and they have to put little to no effort in. I mean, there's the server farms and stuff, but they don't need to produce their own damn shows. We do it for them, for Christ's sake. I don't watch the news on YouTube. As a matter of fact, every time I see a recommended news thing, I put not interested, just to get it away from me, but it still shows up in my feed. I want to see you guys. I mean, that's my go-to now. Before even a scripted drama now, I'd rather watch a live stream. Midnight's Edge After Dark live stream, Merry Mayhem, Drunk 3PO, The Dark Council. I watch all that stuff. Lynn Hobday for 700 yen. Love your down-to-earth delivery. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. Found your channel after listening constantly to Murray Gold's Doctor Who score. He is sorely missed. He really is. I was listening to the Specials soundtrack. I really enjoy, I forgot the name of the piece now. And it's the build-up music for the Master in The End of Time, Part 1. It's so good. It's so freaking good. I'll get the name of the track before the end of the show. Murray Gold is, he is the John Williams of TV. I'm not kidding. Doctor Who scores even for the bad Matt Smith stuff was great. Matt Smith's Doctor's theme is brilliant. Oh, the Places You'll Go is so good. It's great soundtracks. I used to consider myself a Whovian, says Rule, for $2. And how about classic Whovian? Classic Who, and you can even be like, I even put, there's a line of separation even with the classic Who. I like neoclassic and crap. So like neoclassic is everything before the 50th anniversary and before. A lot of people, that line is Clara. A lot of people, that line is season 9. It depends on the person, I guess. On the Inquisition, you read my Super Chat 2A, Second Amendment. On the Super Chat, you read my Super Chat 2A equals Second Amendment. Did I? As in like the Second Amendment for firearms? I don't quite... Stargate, elaborate in the chat on that one. You don't have to send another Super Chat. I don't really understand that. If I screwed something up, I'm sorry. Yeah. just let me know. Like, throw it in the chat. I'll keep an eye out. Hit at Nerdrotic. Thank you, Stargate 404, for the $2. Hail Nerdrotic, says the Fandom Menace YouTube. What's up, brother? You're back from a little break now. Yeah, you know, sometimes after you take a break, it takes a minute for your channel to get going. I experienced that when I went to Sicily. I think I produced 2 videos in 2 weeks. Woo, man. It took me a month and a half to get my channel going again. But you just got to grind. It gets going again. It does. Even now, you know, this is a slow time. They don't recommend videos as much because the AdSense is cheaper. And quite frankly, YouTube was making a lot of money off Star Wars. And they knew it. Oh, they knew it. Yeah, I don't know what 2A meant. Oh, like I didn't get another super chat? You probably said 2A in the super chat and didn't get it. Yeah, I didn't. Sorry. If I read it wrong, I'm sorry, Stargate 404. I've slept since then. 2A means Second Amendment. Got it. Okay. Got it. So I probably read that wrong. Yeah. I'm ignorant to that, but now you have educated me. 2A means Second Amendment. And yeah, I'm all for the Second Amendment. People should be responsible, of course. But yeah, I mean, I can't personally own one myself, but if you're a law-abiding citizen, you follow the rules, absolutely. All about it. Go for it. I like freedom. I think freedom is good. I like being free. As a person who wasn't free for a couple years of my life, I really enjoy being free. I will never take it for granted again. So I apologize, Stargate 404. Thank you for all your support. You're brilliant. You've been around for so long, and I appreciate you. So if I read it wrong, my humble apologies. Judy, should we start calling you Dark Helmet? Yes. Yes. No, actually not. If you want. I mean, you can call me whatever you like, really. I won't complain. Doomcock didn't know either. Yeah. Well, now we know, though. But now we know. And knowing is half the battle. Here's £5 to stroke your beard and say, just as planned. Whilst thinking about Birds of Prey bombing. Just as planned. Yes, because I wanted it to bomb. Yes. Well, I mean, hey, they did. Judy Hopps, you are correct. They planned this very well. I just don't think they intended it to flop. They had a plan, and it succeeded just how we thought it would. What happens when Corona Chan hits San Francisco? The coronavirus, if it gets bad, our plan is to not leave our house. Self-quarantine. My kid won't go to school. I'm not going to F around with that stuff. There's already... this is kind of why I wanted to get out of a big city. But Newsstand Direct, there is a lot of people wearing masks around here. Now, they do that naturally because we have a rather large Chinese population here, and they wear the masks over there, and they've brought that over here. And quite frankly, with poop all over the street, I don't blame them at all. I have no problem with it. Some people like bling out their masks and stuff, and it looks kind of cool. I was in a Walgreens going to get... because before I go to a movie, I'm cheap. I get my movie treats at Walgreens because you get like 4 things for $4 for Birds of Prey. And I saw that masks are sold out. Yeah, it's bad. Birds of Prey was mean-spirited. Exactly, Stargate 404. When Quinn broke the guy's legs in the beginning, the only people who laughed in the group were teen girls. They think hurting men is fun. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, that would have worked in, this might sound weird, but follow me on this one. If you were taking a Dark Knight tone with Harley Quinn, then you do something like that. It didn't work. It just didn't work for me. I mean, for one, I hate watching people's legs get broken. It's, ugh. But yeah, it just didn't work. It was very mean-spirited. And it shouldn't have been. A movie like that can still, take men to task and be fun and be enjoyable. I'm not super sensitive to that. I'm okay with men being portrayed like assholes. Some men are assholes. The thing is, I just ask to be consistent. For example, in Doctor Who, the last episode, and I know there's not a lot of fans, but follow me here on this one. The Doctor who is thousands of years old, essentially a god, who is above most things because their race has lived through it, shows reverence for 1300s Islam and their forward thinking with mental health care. Now, I didn't fact check on that, and I know in the 1300s and stuff, that Islam was actually they were very progressive for their time. This was way back then. They were very science oriented and stuff, and helped build civilization. I understand that, but the Doctor, and that's fine to show reverence. Would the Doctor show reverence for Christianity? No. Well, see, that's my problem. It's not. I don't have a problem with the Doctor showing reverence for that. I have a problem with them not doing it for other things, consistently vilifying other things. I'm saying spread the love and the hate. That's all. Be neutral. And I personally don't think the Doctor would show religion respect, but the Doctor would think it's kind of, come on, really? But it was just so obvious and filled in. And again, nothing wrong with the religion. I have no problem with anybody's religion. If it brings, that's great. If it brings you joy in your life, then by all means do it. Spirituality is a very important thing. It's important for my sobriety. I practice it in my way, and that's it. Red Panda for 10 pounds. Not sure if you know the channel, but Harry's Haunted House does some really good reviews of Black Mirror and Doctor Who. Think you guys might gel well. Hell, Gary, I will check it out. It's called Harry's Haunted House. I will check it out, Red Panda. Thank you for the 10 pounds. I will most certainly follow the suggestion. I love seeing new channels. And if you guys, there's so many good channels out there. I wish I could shout everybody out. Critical Drinker. I think everybody knows who Critical Drinker is. Robot Head just came back from a break. So why don't you go, if you haven't checked out Robot Head, he's right up there with Mahler and Critical Drinker. Now, he took a break from his channel, so he might need some love. So if somebody wants to go click on his videos, you will not regret it. Really intelligent, funny YouTuber. Declan Lyons for 10 pounds. Poison Ivy is too high profile. If she had been included in Birds of Prey, they would have needed a pretty famous actress who might have taken focus from Robbie as Harley Quinn, which just wasn't allowed. I believe that's what their thinking was. I will not argue with you at all. Now, I would disagree with their decision to do that because I think Margot Robbie needed somebody to play off of, to be honest with you. Her performance wasn't enough to carry that movie. And I've seen performances carry films. My God, Peter Capaldi carried Doctor Who for 3 years on his back by himself. And Harley Quinn, she was one of the good things in Suicide Squad. There was a lot of good in Suicide Squad. There was a hell of a lot of bad. But Will Smith, he was fine. I had no problem with him. I hated the casting at first, and then I grew to like it. Joel Kinnaman was brilliant in Suicide Squad. So yeah, I think there was some good performances. She played well off, and she had chemistry with Will Smith. She actually did. Jared Leto, not so much. Nope. Nah. I think he's going to be a good Morbius, though. I think he's going to be a good Morbius, and I think that's going to be a good movie. I'm kind of excited about that one. I'm looking forward to it. The MCU made an outstanding decision this week. Now, I know there's a lot of bad news swirling around the MCU, and quite frankly, that's why I coined it the MCU a few months back. So they made one good decision. And I think it was because Doctor Strange is probably their most important film to come out because it's going to reset a lot of things and they need a competent director. So I think there's a great potential that Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse of Madness could be excellent because Sam effing Raimi is going to direct it. So we'll get a Bruce Campbell cameo. And hopefully Marvel will let him do his thing. And I think it will be a good movie. Now, will that erase everything? I hope not, but I hope it's a sign that Marvel may be rethinking their ways. It looks like they're trying to rebuild Brie Larson's reputation. Good luck with that. But, I mean, my recommendation, not that she's listening, but just in case she is, I know she's always tuning in. Brie's one of my, super chats from Brie all the time. No, not shut up. Just be grateful and nice and talk about a superhero movie for Captain Marvel 2. And I guarantee you Captain Marvel 2 will be filled with Avengers. And we will see. Let's go to the chat a little bit here. And by the way, according to Christy, thank you for staying up late tonight. I do appreciate you. Nyla Shadow, thank you very much. The Modrotics. You guys are great. You're brilliant. Yeah, so in the near future, I'm going to have a new software. So when I go on Nerdrotic for the Nooners, I'll be able to invite people in. Right now, I can't invite people in. I wish I could, but I can't. I guess I could, but I would have to stop and restart, and I just don't want to do that. Yeah, hail Sam Raimi. I think that's a freaking great decision. So we got to give him props when they do something right. And I think the MCU needs personality again, and I think he might bring that. Now, this might be wishful thinking on my part. I'll be honest with you. Because I think the Eternals is going to be garbage. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be garbage. Black Widow, I think it'll be meh. It'll be okay. It's not that big of a year for movies, so hopefully something comes along and surprises us. Is Morbius coming out this year? Somebody in the chat answer that. I think it is, right? Tenet. I know I talked about this last live stream, but I saw the IMAX scene for Tenet before Birds of Prey or Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. Worth the admission right there. So good. So good. Hail the Modrotics. That's right. I appreciate you. I still want Tim Burton to make a Batman Beyond film with Michael Keaton. Do you think Tim Burton still has it to do that? You know, that might work. And I'll tell you how it might work. But Tim would have to dial back on being the Tim. Because I'd want Bruce Timm and Paul Dini involved. Like have Bruce Timm do the designing if he could. And Paul Dini co-writing. And yes, I think that would be great. I think we'll get a Batman Beyond and a Dark Knight film adaptation sooner than later. I don't doubt that for a minute. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do a Dark Knight Returns with like a Christian Bale or even a Ben Affleck. That'd be kind of cool with Ben Affleck. I was never the biggest fan, and I hated the decision when I heard it, but when I saw him as Batman, I'm like, God damn, he looks like Batman. I mean, he looks like Ben Affleck, but he looks like Bruce Wayne. He does. Too bad he didn't get a chance, man. It's too bad he didn't get a chance. Hey, Daddy of Correction Pop Culture. What's up? What did you think of the doc walking away from Graham on the subject of his cancer? I thought that was, especially after touting healthcare, I thought that was shameful. Horrible writing, and the doctor wouldn't do that. The doctor might come up with a bad answer, but I think somebody was trying to confide in the doctor. The doctor was open to Yaz and Ryan, but not open to Graham. What kind of shit is that? I thought that was terrible. I thought it was an attempt at being funny, and it was freaking terrible. Sharon Osbourne is here. 1999. Thank you, Sharon Osbourne. Spending I was going to say all of Ozzy's money, but that's your money. You're a strong, powerful woman. Sharon, we appreciate you. Burton is too Burton for a long project. He is, crispy critters. I got to be careful because my wife is like a major Tim Burton fan. Thou shall not blaspheme Burton. But quite frankly, I think he's good for quirky little goth projects and not superhero movies. I would love for them to, because we got images of it in Birds of Prey. I would love to see a movie that's the full Batman animated series aesthetic. I think that would be great. Yep, Tim and Dini created Harley Quinn. They did. And hey, Keaton coming back for Dark Knight Returns, that or Batman Beyond, that would be great too. Take my money, please. I want Toby back. I want a Spider-Man 4 directed by Sam Raimi. That's what I want. I want to see that before I die. And you guys have all seen the art out there for that movie. I think it would be good. I think it would have been a return to greatness. And I think they should have let it happen. Remember, they paid Toby like $50 million to be in it. It was like some ridiculous amount of money, and he signed the deal. Yeah, I was bummed. When I heard they were rebooting it, I was so pissed. Tim Burton now with 20% less Tim Burton. That's right. Ben is a good Batman. Yes, Trace Adams, 67. Yes, he was. He had bad scripts, folks. I agree with Ryan Cannell on most of his DC takes. Now, I don't think the Vision was as great as everybody thinks, but I think that Zack Snyder got completely screwed over by Warner Brothers. And he deserved better because he was a team player. And considering what happened to the man and considering what they did and the fact that he was still a team player, yeah, I got nothing bad to say about Zack Snyder. I know some people don't like him, and that's fine. He's not a perfect filmmaker, and believe me, I sat through the last 15 minutes of Sucker Punch. I've told this story before in post-production 150 times. I have PTSD from that movie, and I hate it, but I like him. Toby is old Spider-Man in the live-action Spider-Verse. They'll probably do it, Rise Donald. I think Sony will probably take more chances than Marvel. So I think that's why that'll be good. That'll be good. Okay, I'm gonna wrap things up, man. It's been an hour and 45 minutes. I don't want to keep you all up too late, but I'll do these late night things again some more. I mean, if you like them. I like being able to talk to the chat. That's great. That's great. Is that okay, Larry? Iron Man Jr. Yes. Don't get me started on Tom Holland. Fine young actor. The costume looks good. It's not Spider-Man. It's MCU Spider-Man. It's Ultimate Spider-Man, but it's not comic book accurate in any way, shape, or form. It could be with him. It could be, but it's not, in my opinion. But I know, again, I'm in the minority on that one. So there it is there. Everybody, I want you all have a great night. Please make sure you are still subscribed to your favorite YouTuber. There's been a lot of bot cleansing and stuff. So, in your spare time, I think a lot of times, the notifications get checked off. I noticed I accidentally did it on my phone. It's very easy to do it on your phone. So you want to watch that stuff. Look out for my video. It's going to be out in about... it's been done. It was done at 5. I just didn't want to release it at 8 o'clock Eastern. So it's coming out tomorrow morning. It's set to come out at 8 a.m. pretty early. And then I'm going to probably come out with another one later in the afternoon. I'm debating on talking about Jar Jar admitting failure or something else. We'll say something else. So again, thank you to the Modrotics. Thank you all for the super chats. Thank you for participating in the chat. I'm sorry I couldn't read every single line. I wish I could. It wasn't racist at all even. I know. Golly. I'll try harder next time. And according to Christy, Nyla Shadow, you did great work. I love Sucker Punch. I can't. I'm sorry, Ron C. I can't. Everybody have a great evening, and we'll take you out with some music. How about we do that? We'll do a little... It's called Beam Me Out, and it can be found on the YouTube free library. The Nerdrotic Nooner will have new theme music. I found it today it is copyright free. I found some porn music that we're going to use, and it's a 70s porn music, which is actually pretty good. If you're a bass player, it's like freaking good. So everybody, not all who wander are lost.
.com.
Thanks again, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This, of course, will be unlisted, but it'll be over at Nerdrotic Live in the morning. Again, thank you for participating. I will see you on the next Nerdrotic Nooner on time this time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time on Wednesday. And, of course, there's Friday Night Tights. It'll be at 5:30 Pacific time. And, of course, there's the Inquisition on Doomcock's channel, 6 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. next Sunday.